Well, fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the 135th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Prokop, and me, Cooper. Prokop is again attending to fatherly duty. Sabrina loves screaming right when the podcast starts. Sabrina! Hi! And it's just us today. A little more cooped up in here. How you guys doing today?
Good. Had myself a nice day. I find myself most productive outside of work at about 7 o'clock. That's when I get the urge to get out of bed and do something.
Yeah, I was extremely tired all day, and it really hit around 3 p.m. today. And then I was tired the whole way home, and then we picked up the couch from the pizza shop. And that's when all of a sudden I got my second wave of energy. It took me all day to get it, but finally got her. Dude, I can't figure out when to take my Adderall because I don't like taking it in the morning, like right when I wake up, because I don't feel good. And then I also have to take a second one normally during the workday. Because if I don't know if you're going to be in frame, Joe. There you go. It's cooped up. That's the whole point. All right? Well, you gotta hold the mic if you're gonna talk.
I was trying to do a half circle, like we face each other. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, I just don't know how it would look on camera. We just need to. If you guys saw how not only technically unsavvy we are, but how I don't have a thing to hold up the phone. We're still working with 2 mics. We might hit the Amazon Prime Day to get that third mic. If not, we should probably get it this weekend. I still think we should only keep 3 mics when we have a guest, so that way we pass it, and I think it makes them uncomfortable and gets them on their toes. I think that's what we gotta have to do.
What if we all wear Turtle Beaches sitting down here?
I think the Turtle Beaches would be dope. They just have wireless Turtle Beaches.
You should make we all wear Turtle Beaches, but just the guest has like MW2 level footsteps in it, so they just kind of get freaked out. Like, we don't get it, but they just hear, like the fucking running around the corner.
Randomly? Yeah. Dude, I've been watching this kid on, like, Twitch at work, and then I've been watching the TikTok, the Jinxie guy. He plays Rainbow Six Siege. He fucking kills me, dude.
I've seen him on TikTok.
Dude, there's the one where it's like, what's your Twitch? And he fucking smashes his camera. You're on it! Oh, so funny. Hi, Sabrina. Hello. Do you have anything to say?
Sabrina.
She says meow.
I guess we have a guest today.
We do have a guest. She appeared on the last one too. She popped her tail up once when we were talking about Vietnam or something. I wonder if she's in the camera. If not, oh, hello, Sabrina. Hello.
No.
But one thing I will say is I adjusted the camera last week once we got rolling, and it wasn't exactly the same frame when we put it back on, and I have autism, so it really bothered me. So if you're a viewer, I hope it didn't bother you. By the way, I want to shout out some listeners. Shout out to Danny's Embroidery. Danny and Jack listen every week. Apparently, it's the one thing they can agree on. And Danny was upset that I have not thanked her personally yet. So I just wanted to take this time early on in this podcast to say shout out to you, Danny and Jack. You guys are great. IOC, anybody who listens all the time, you guys are dope. The one thing that I wanted to talk about first was just how sickening that display was by that fucking tourist in the Union Oyster House this weekend, by the way. Yeah.
I repressed that. So.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've always been on the side of the servers. You know what I mean? I'm always a server guy. Always have been. But that was one of the only times I literally almost got up and screamed at somebody in a restaurant. It was the most sickening display by these 2 people from flyover hick states that clearly have nothing going on. And they're like, let's go to Boston. And then they got there. They ordered a full lobster. There's no way they didn't order a full lobster. I think what they wanted to order was that fucking lazy man lobster that was chunked up and whatever. But, dude, these 2 people order these 2 lobsters, massive lobsters. First off, they eat them, which is like the first thing. I'm not on your side immediately if you fucking shove your fat fucking face with lobster for 25 minutes and then they're like, oh, this should be comped. No, it shouldn't. You ate it. The only thing that should ever be comped is stuff that is inedible or that you like immediately, like the first bite, you're like, I don't want this. Like if they immediately were like, hey, this isn't what we thought a fucking lobster would be, then I'm about it. I get it. Is what it is. But they ate the fucking lobster. And then they were like appalled that the lobster came whole. You guys got to hold the mic, guys.
No. I'm getting angry again, Goop. That's all it is.
No, I mean, it was infuriating, man. And we were like belly laughing at these people.
Like we were, you're them. You're the camera, the listener, and we're like us. So we were dead on facing them, just belly laughing.
Oh, there's no way they didn't know we were laughing at them. They had to have known. Because like it was such a ridiculous thing. Like I get you're from some loser state that you eat like catfish and trout or whatever the fuck you eat when you don't live by the ocean. But like you've seen a lobster before, right? Like on TV.
There's been enough cartoons, movies, TV shows where somebody's ordered a lobster and it looks like a whole lobster, unless they think that part was edible. And they saw the red outside.
They thought that,
and
they
that
thought
was
the
like,
shell was edible.
Yeah, or something like that.
Well, I mean, that's
and
even
they thought that was
dumber.
like, I'm like, I think these people were that stupid.
Well, I mean, you got to be a class A neuro, dude, to really not know that you can't eat a lobster shell, right? Like, can you eat a crab
No, I
shell?
think they might have thought it was legitimately like not shell. Like these idiots thought.
Why
it was,
wouldn't they think it's a shell though?
Because they're stupid, Cooper. This is what we're getting at.
This is, I think.
How can you? They were probably what, mid-60s, 60.
Yeah, they were probably our parents' age or like slightly.
I just don't know
older.
how you can go that long and not know that fact.
Honestly, I feel bad for you as a human being.
That's like a
dude.
gag you pull on like a kid getting lobster the first time. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of the day, a lobster is a ton of work. That's why you don't get a lobster at a restaurant.
No, I was gonna say I feel like one thing at least I do before I travel somewhere is I do a little research, right?
Yep.
And I assume when people, okay, I'm making an assumption here, but I don't think it's a ridiculous one. I assume people who are coming to Boston aren't just staying in Boston the whole time, right? Like you're coming here as part of a New England trip. You might go down Cape. You might even go up to the North Shore, to the water. That's where you order a lobster if you're going to get one, like a fish shack.
You order it at a shack. Yeah, you go up to Maine and you order it at a lobster shack. You go
So I
down
don't
to
know,
Cape, you order
did
it at
you
a
hear?
lobster
Did
shack.
you hear her go? She's like, I thought that was what you're supposed to do is get a lobster. It's like,
I mean, it's not the last place you should get one.
no,
But
no,
like,
it's not absurd to get one there. It's
But
not
it's like
absurd.
it's,
But you got like the thing is like if you're so insistent, you're like, you know that you have to get a lobster in New England. I'm not telling you to know how to butcher the lobster and get all the meat out easily, but to not know that you need to fucking crack a lobster.
I am the only one who has the right to complain about a lobster experience.
Well, you're not supposed to eat lobster.
Let's move past that. You seen me eat lobster rolls before. You see me eat bacon. We're gonna move.
No,
past.
I'm aware, but is that why you
No,
can't eat
no,
why can't you complain about lobster then?
Because when I went to Norway, I got ordered a lobster, and they served it to me, and it was a full lobster. I guess North Sea lobsters look a little different. It was a little smaller, but it was still like big. Like it was a lobster.
Did it look the same?
Yeah, like essentially the same. It was cold, which again, not saying like it was done wrong, but which is a little weird. And they didn't give you a single tool to open it. I think that warrants complaint.
So when you say it's cold,
It was served like they like froze it out, like they cooked it all the way through it, and then they like cooled
let it
it.
cool
Yeah,
down?
they cooled it. It tasted fine, but it was more the fact that there wasn't a single tool to crack it. Like the
no, yeah, if like that's the thing. These people got the bibs, they got the fucking knuckle crackers, they got everything, and they split the lobster. Half the problem is when the lobster's not split. If it's split, it's pretty easy. You just have to get the claws.
it's honestly like crab is so much harder to eat.
Crab is also way less rewarding.
that the guy too also did a pretty good job eating it. by
Oh,
the
he
way.
ate a lobster
He
before.
ate the whole, yeah.
His lobster was fucking huge, dude.
Yeah, and he got a good amount of meat out. I wonder, I didn't see how much they cost, but like,
Oh, I'm sure
I
they
was
weren't
pretty
cheap.
hungry, but
That's why I felt bad, dude, because the waitress had to comp it, right? And that was definitely like a $40 to $50 lobster. So she cut the bill in half. So she probably made like $20 less on that table because 2 hicks.
Two things made me laugh about that. The first was when she was asking if they're done, and they like shoot her away because they're still like munching on the thing. Like they're complaining, and then you just see them like wolfing it down.
That is the best, dude. If you're going to complain, you can't eat it.
And then what made me laugh, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I overheard them talking about how they're like thankful that they're raising their kids in a state with a good education system. And I just like, almost died laughing.
Clearly, they're not.
Like, I almost just like they're like, good thing our kids are going to a good school, and I was like,
I would have bet.
I was like, what?
What state do you think they were from?
Do you think they were talking about? I think maybe they're like visiting their kid or something.
They might have been visiting their kid,
yeah.
but that shows you how insufferable that they are. That they're visiting their kid, and the kid didn't come out to
In the
dinner with
summer,
them.
too,
A free
yeah.
dinner. I mean, a free dinner, man. You're not turning that down, especially when you're in college, dude.
I know they're definitely from Coop. My thought was like the upper Midwest.
I said Ohio, Michigan, maybe.
They
Wisconsin.
see those people couldn't afford. Okay, I don't think Ohio people could afford to come to Boston.
What in Ohio can afford to?
Besides LeBron, but
LeBron and Beth. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Sorry, but I don't know. I got like upper Midwest vibes from them. They didn't have like a noticeable accent.
No, they didn't.
But they're clearly from somewhere far enough away where they clearly were just completely oblivious. But I feel like they have enough seafood up there, even if it's not lobster, that you kind of know what's going on.
No, I mean it's not acceptable.
It might be like Iowa or something like that.
It wasn't acceptable regardless. I don't think it just wasn't. And
they're old at the end of the day. Just to give them the benefit of doubt is like they honestly probably tipped her the fall. I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
no, I bet you they didn't.
I don't know.
A woman like that, you could tell that woman. That was like one of those women, dude. That like, you just know she calls her kid fat. Like, you know what I mean? She bullies her daughter, calls her fat, and then like anytime she eats any kind of snack, and the daughter could be borderline anorexic, right? And she's still calling her daughter fat, and that's why she's single and not dating someone. Like 100%. That woman probably tipped 12%. The husband seemed chill.
He was just going with it for the
Well,
most
I mean,
part.
you're not winning that battle if you're that
He
husband.
bitched to me in the bathroom about it.
I would have spit on him.
Oh, I didn't. I wanted to say more. Of course, I didn't because it's like this guy's like his prison is living with this lady.
Oh, I mean, he's already bound.
He's like I got butter all over me. How am I supposed to eat it without butter getting all over me? He's like wiping his glasses in the sink.
Dude, it got on his face, dude. It was like splashed everywhere.
Dude, these people are used to nothing but fucking Angus beef burgers that you can eat with your hand and put in your mouth.
Yeah,
and pasta.
Yeah, their date night out is going to Culver's and getting a butter burger.
Their date night out is having fucking a meal you make at home, aka corn on the cob and a medium well steak.
No,
you know
they weren't even medium well, dude. Those were probably well done. Those were probably
well done with
fellas.
A1 steak sauce over it.
Yeah, just
the wife
smothered.
prefers ketchup though.
Oh yeah, no, this was a classless bitch. Yeah, they're so classless, and they were wearing this like clearly semi-expensive but trashy clothing at the same time, like fake wealth. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was. Hi, Sabina.
They're definitely Democrats though.
Oh, 100%, and that's just like it. Just goes to show
This
you.
doesn't. It's an L for the team, my team.
It's an L for it. I think anywhere, and we've said it before, anywhere off either coast is an L, and anywhere on the West Coast is also an L.
Just slightly less so, but still an L.
I think the only place in America that I think
You could live. Okay, if you could live in, I can pick. I live in Minnesota.
I would have to have nothing. I would have to life would need to be over for me though. You know what I mean? I would need to. If I lived there, I would need to want to be away. Like two of you guys would have to either die or not be friendly with me anymore. My family would all have to be gone. I would have to be like a man of solitude looking to slow down his life. Like I would want, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Oh, so you're saying if you go to Minnesota, you're going to Minnesota?
I mean, even if I'm living in fucking
Minneapolis.
yeah, it's over, man.
It seems fine to me.
I mean, I'm sure, dude. I'm sure, but I'm just telling you personally that I just simply could not do it. Life just moves too slow out there.
I wouldn't be able to at all. Maybe Montana, and I become like that guy in the woods.
See, the thing is
That's
with
it.
living there is you have to be around the people from there.
You don't have to.
Well, you still have to
You could
go
just
to.
live in the woods.
You still got to go to town and get some grain and shit every once in a while. Get something from the tractor
yeah,
store.
but then you're going with some old guy from No Country from Old Men in that little gas station.
Which was a
I can
fantastic
handle
movie,
that.
by
I
the
could
way.
handle that guy every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while, I guess. You going to Dallas? What's
What time you reckon you close?
what time do you? Well, Well, now. I close now.
No,
Now is not. Now is not a time.
Sundown.
Now is not a time. What is the most you've ever lost? Also, dude, we watched White Chicks last night. I got back, and first off, Terry Crews, I hate to say it, I will say that he will tragically die sooner than we expect. Terry Crews is not going to be an old man. Because he hasn't aged since 2000. He looked the exact same now as he did in White Chicks in 2004.
He's definitely on roids, too.
Oh, he's 100% on roids. You're telling me that guy never did some blow or anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah. He was really good in...
Did Kathy take that?
Yeah, that was Kathy.
What did she say? They don't know who fucking Kathy is. Cool. But yeah,
What's he been in recently?
he's in a lot of shit still, dude. He's like one of those people that they just throw in so everyone in the movie goes like, oh, Terry Crews is in it. You know what I mean?
Can't name the last thing I've seen him in.
Old Spice commercial.
He is still the Old Spice guy. That guy must have bank, dude. He did have a porn addiction, so I wonder what that led to.
He did?
Oh, yeah. He was like, I was jacking off like 35 times a day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You didn't need to do
that.
Yeah, I feel like Terry Crews doesn't need to jack off.
Well, I mean, like, dude, even if you're Terry Crews, man, like, he might have a fucking insatiable drive, dude. So it's like, even Terry Crews is going to have some dry days.
Some dry days.
Terry Crews porn addiction. I want to make sure that's right.
Oh, I thought we were going to look up what movies he was in.
I say we just make it as is.
Porn.
I say we don't even look it up. That's a thing.
I just want to confirm so I'm not spreading slander about Terry Crews because I think he's one of the best little character
really
actors.
Funny.
I feel like
him
in
a
our
lot.
Yeah, he's really funny. Terry Crews at 9 years old. What?
Addiction from when he was 9.
Yeah, he just said he had a porn addiction since he was 9, so I didn't make it up.
I want to know what that qualifies as.
Probably a lot of porn.
You're 9? How he was born in the 70s.
Well, he probably had the
Playboy.
fucking mags, dude. Yeah,
He had stacks.
he's in literally
What's
almost
the most recent one?
Rumble, which looks like an
that.
animated movie about dragons or something. He's in Willow Boys on Netflix. He's in Deadpool 2.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Where's the Money? Is that Logan Paul?
Good Lord.
Adam Sandler is one of his movies that... Sandy Wexler, what? Ridiculous Six. Dude, look at all of these movies this man's in.
Around that 2010, 2018, I feel like is when he was in everything.
Yeah, he slowed...
just the 2000s in general, I guess.
He's slowed down since. This movie's 2002, so dude, he's been fucking pumping shit out.
Because he was famous before Everyone Hates Chris, right? He had to be.
I think so. I think that was like his show that he got on once he
That was his
like
big one?
Yeah, that was like his break show. But he looks the same now, man. So that guy's gonna be like you're just gonna wake up. It's gonna be not Kobe-esque because Kobe was like really out there, but like Terry Crews, no one's gonna expect that man because he looks so healthy. But like that guy's heart's gonna explode. Like there's no way. He's too big, man. He's too big.
Isn't jack off related?
Yeah, dude.
The roids plus jacking off
roid-
heart attack.
Yeah, dude. His heart's just like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Crazy. I really wish I didn't take my notes and put it on the phone that's recording. But what are you gonna do, Sabrina? What are you judging us for? Over there, Sabrina Cat. But. Oh, what was I? I had something else that I wanted to fucking talk. Oh, I guess we can talk. Dude, the one thing I will say is there's a lot more rooftop bars in Boston than I've ever noticed. Like we keep finding places.
Which one?
We went to the Envoy. That looked
Oh,
like
you didn't
it could
know
be
that
sick.
existed?
No, I've never been there.
Oh.
We went to that other bar around there.
Yeah.
There's something about drinking on a roof, dude. I love drinking on roofs. It's like when you're elevated, like, dude, when I was at Margaritaville, I was looking down over the city, dude, having a pina colada, and it honestly did feel like I was on a fucking vacation island, dude. It felt unreal.
I think combine rooftops with drinking during the day, and it's just...
I love drinking during the day, man.
Because after the day we had Sunday, I didn't even come close to having a hangover at the end of the day, waking up on Monday.
Well, I think the only reason you didn't have a hangover is, like, realistically...
But is realistically a 20-minute power nap gonna save you?
that 20-minute nap, it was one of those naps that I woke up in 20 minutes because Sabrina fucking started going crazy on her like claw thing, like the cardboard thing. And I woke up and I was like, fuck, what time is it? Because I was still in my jeans and everything. It was only 20 minutes and I felt pretty good. But then when Joey texted me, Aaron's not awake, it might have been the happiest I've been in weeks, dude. I like literally
you
almost
were
went
like
back to
hoping we
bed.
weren't going out, and then we ended up having ourselves a
That's
second half of the day.
I needed dinner, man. I was excited for ribs. Once we said we were going to Red Bones, dude, I'm like, oh fuck yes, dude. I was all hype, and then we didn't go to Red Bones, and then we came back, and I'm like, all right, if we go out right now, I'll be able to ride the wave, I think. And then you're like, oh, we're not in a rush, and then you fell asleep, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, I don't know if I have, because we started too early, man. Like, we were out of here by like 12, but I had my first Topo Chico at like 10:30. Honestly, I didn't have enough water that morning for how hot it was to then go out and day drink.
No, it wasn't.
And then
smart.
we had disappointment after disappointment, dude. We went to Oyster Fest, which was
not a fest.
insulting. Yeah, we're starting to use fest way too loosely. All right, fest.
I might send them an email.
I am shocked you haven't. I was gonna write them a Google review if I could, but I couldn't find where to write one. So instead, I'm gonna. You call that a fest? I saw
two
call that a
tents.
fest?
I saw 2 tents.
Dude, it was 2 tents. They had one raw bar, which I don't even understand. Like they said, there was an all-you-can-eat pass, but it didn't seem like anyone had that pass. And then they had one raw bar with like 5 oysters on it. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then the oysters were fucking crazy, dude. Like, what were those prices? The prices it was
6
like,
for
it was like 12
28.
for 40. Yeah, it was like 12 for 40, which is crazy. Because another thing that we said is that I really think that fest implies like you're celebrating oysters. And a celebration of an oyster isn't a chance for you to make money, you capitalist pig. It's to celebrate the oyster.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you go to a fest, a market, or anything, you go for, like, tastings. I would have been mad if there was, like, you only could get, like, 3, but they were free. But it's the
You
fact
should
that
have gotten one oyster free. That's
they were
bullshit.
charging, like, prices at restaurants that even the nicest restaurant in Boston wouldn't charge you for oysters.
I mean, yeah, dude, you're paying that much at a nice, $40 for 12. I'm not good at math. It's like about $3.50, $4 per oyster. A lot of places do dollar oysters. Sometimes 2. If you're paying more than 4 an oyster, I mean, the oysters come from the same fucking ocean, right? Like, it really can't, the quality can't get much, much better if you're getting a fresh oyster regardless.
And those oysters have been sitting out, too.
All
Not
in
for
the sun.
long, because they ran out so quickly.
They ran out so quickly, and it started at 1, and we got there at 1:15.
And there
was
were out
no
of
more
oysters.
tickets for the all-you-can-eat thing. Which, besides the
I don't think they had anything. I don't think they had any oysters available after that.
Yeah, they had Topo Chico. That's it. It's the only fucking draw they had was the Topo Chico. You gotta eat.
We got to start throwing some of these things.
We could have thrown a better fucking oyster fest than that. And it was at this fucking place that I hate. I hate this place, and I know you like it. Bow Market in Somerville. It is literally the end of capitalism. It just is like the personification of everything that's failed this country and everyone who it has failed in its path. It's embarrassing. Because we went there for someone's birthday, and we got these mixed drinks, which were fucking horrible, by the way. Like, it's like one of those places that they're like, oh, let's throw all these shitty ingredients into one and then act like it's going to be good.
It was in a solo cup, and it was like $20.
It was a solo cup. It was like what the fucking dentist gives you to wash out your mouth. And the drink was just as enjoyable as that stupid mouthwash. It was terrible. I remember it being so acidic that I still have nightmares about it every day, dude. Every time I have a drink, I'm like, ugh. I remember the Bow Market drink I paid $40 for. We got 2 drinks, 2 fucking...
Blah, blah, blah.
It's a terrible place.
Dude, you sit there, have some pizza...
You can have pizza.
Get a beer.
Go to a fucking
outside.
Go to a mom and pop place. Dude. This is why the country's failing.
You people watch.
It's worse than Derby. I don't want to watch the people who are there. They're fake people.
If it was bigger, and then I would. It's just not.
If it was bigger, it would have been fucking. It's worse than Derby Street because at least Derby Street has like good stores.
That's the worst comparison I've heard in my entire life.
It's essentially the same thing, except
it doesn't even touch the realm of Derby Street. The whole point of it is to get like acceptable like pizza,
Acceptable
a beer,
pizza,
and
buy
sit there
records
and
you
sit
could
there outside
and buy records you could get at Newberry Comics.
Yeah,
The only
okay. So
thing
you
that's
want to support
different-
the change then? Sounds like.
No, because these aren't
Support them-
places I want to support. These
I don't either.
these are.
I'll go to Aeronaut
these
Brewery.
These are.
I'll go to Aeronaut, then I'll bring it outside. Go to the pizza or sushi place, grab because they have like what is it called, the bar style pizza. Get a bar style pizza and sit there for an hour or two.
But it's all stores owned by kids.
Who gives a
who
shit
fucking-
about the stores you can buy stuff at?
But that's the vibe it sets.
It's not the vibe at all. The vibe is all the
Go to
people
a better
sitting
pizza
there.
place.
But like,
Go to a better fucking sushi place. And
okay,
people
but what
watch
you
there.
can all sit and do the same thing. You can pick what you want to eat. You could each get different things. Get your fucking drinks.
Just go to a fucking tapas place.
A beer garden is another option, but
I do like beer gardens.
I like drinking outside, so any opportunity that provides, I'll do it.
I love drinking outside.
And it provides it, so that gets a check in my book. It doesn't matter how bad the dumbass mixed drinks you got. I'm still sitting there outside drinking.
There's enough places I can sit outside. That place, especially after that fucking Oyster Fest.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
I
the
hate
Oyster
to
Fest
say it,
didn't
I
help.
looked forward to for like 2 weeks.
That's all I thought about.
That's all I thought about for 2 weeks. I don't even fucking like oysters.
Yeah, that was the weird part. Joey and I here actually
But I was the
love
most.
oysters.
I think I was the most heartbroken from it, dude. And I didn't even really like
I
oysters.
was waiting so long that I said it before. Like they say when you eat people, like you get a hunger that can't be like satiated, but until you eat other
Yeah.
people again. That's how I felt about the oyster that day.
Yeah, it's
To the point where we walked across the city.
We looked at every restaurant in the North End, and we couldn't find oysters. I don't know if there's an oyster shortage.
We honestly should have just gone to legal seafoods. At that
We
point.
should have. We should have.
I said seaport. You guys called me an ass.
Is that in the seaport?
And then where did we end up that night?
we ended up in the seaport.
We ended up in the seaport.
See, we always have a trap place, man. No matter where we move to, like I feel like when
I
you
don't
guys were
find
living in-
seaport as a trap though. I find it as probably the
It
best
kinda
place
is,
in
though.
Plymouth.
It
I mean,
is.
in Boston. I hate to say it. Name a cooler spot. You could say the North End, and like I'd get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, we're not having like a fucking huge boozy day in the North End.
This is why we can't sign NBA players, dude. It's just because our city like this doesn't offer enough.
Seaports, I don't understand. I feel like
The seaport's fine though.
compared
dude.
to
The
like
seaport's
other
fine.
places, like that's
Yeah,
just
the
like a
seaport's
tip.
good.
That's a
I-
typical good part of a city.
I like the seaport, all right, but it's just like it's like the same thing as Southie. Like I'm sure Southie's nice. I don't want to be around the people who live in the seaport. I don't want to be around
I think
the
we
people
should
who live in
go
Southie.
back to the Liberty Hotel.
The Liberty Hotel was maybe my favorite vibe. Actually, I really did like the house music outside at fucking Phoenix Landing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going back on Sunday.
The problem is with that is that if it's the same DJ, then that's good. But you have a chance to get like someone that's playing just god awful stuff, and then it's like kind of annoying at that point.
There's also too many Irish people who work there. There was like 4 or 5 people
Yeah,
who were
way
just
too
like
many.
off the boat Irish, and it's like enough. They're like
Apparently,
fucking,
a whole gaggle of them are coming through too. We got
Yeah.
out just in time.
yeah. The one thing
It is
is
unlivable.
that was like another one of those moments that we had like the moment this weekend where we saw like I got Topo Chico seltzers. I never would do that, but I saw them in the store. I'm like, fuck it, I'll get Topo Chico seltzers. And then the whole weekend was just surrounded by Topo Chico for the rest of it.
It just came out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
Topo
so it's
Chico.
kind of like how we have Kira here now, and now it's like all of a sudden it's like fucking insects, dude. Like, oh, we've been interacting with so many fucking Irish people now.
Honestly, I'd say Central is my favorite
Oh, sorry.
place in Boston.
I like Davis a lot. I hate to
Davis is fun, but there's not like enough like the Burn's fine.
say. The burn, honestly, is like you're not gonna have a.
But you're not gonna like dance. Like you're not gonna listen to like. But to me, the Burn is great if you show up at around 9 or 10 and you confirm like a table outside, because then you can just bring a pack of cigarettes and smoke them all night, and then just have people bring you beers, and then you just chill there and socialize.
I think Davis is number 2 for me. Seaport number 1, Central 3. That's how I would. Just because Central, it's only really for us Phoenix
Central's
at this
fine.
point.
I actually like Harvard Square
Right.
better than Central.
Harvard's, that's tough.
No, Central. If you like, you guys don't like it as much as me, which is completely fair. But Central is where they have like good music in my eyes. Like there's like 4 different like Phoenix Landing. I think I like Phoenix Landing turns into like a dance club at night, but I honestly prefer it during the day. And then there's like the Middlesex, Middle East, Zuzu. Me and Kira ended up at Zuzu.
Zuzu's Middle East. So.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But there's like 4. How many bars? There's like 10 bars
There's
Middle
like
East,
4
right?
or 5 bars.
Yeah, but we just walked into Zuzu and it was like actual like house music and not like bullshit like top 40, like just classic. Like she was like literally playing like on vinyl decks, which is pretty cool. That's where you get the like. That's the part of Boston where you can like kind of pretend you're like a normal city instead of hearing a Katy Perry song at fucking
that
Sissy
is
K's.
a normal city. You don't escape that. Yeah.
Okay, I meant like New York. It's the closer you get to like that like house New York
dude, I've been to
vibe.
plenty of bars in New York where it's like just a bar and bar. It's not.
Yeah, but like I feel like there's definitely like tons of like those like cool like bars where they're playing like house. Yeah.
There's more bars in general.
But Boston lacks at more than most cities do for nightlife at the end of the day.
They close at like 1:30, yeah. But honestly, you might have been able to hear you, Joe, because of the game.
But like the closing at 2, if we're talking before 2, I bet it's got a higher percentage than most cities of playing house music and stuff like that.
And it also just sucks because I hate to say it, like the one thing about Boston is it's like people are like, oh, it's a real walkable city. It really like isn't. It is when you're in the areas you're in, but like it's so separated. So if you have to use the T, like using the T that day, kind of like it wasn't terrible, but like we wasted like an hour and a half waiting for like trains and shit.
We waited 3 minutes for the green line.
The other one was like 35
and it was
minutes.
17 minutes for the second one, which
It felt
granted
a lot
to me is like
longer than
long.
that.
I will agree with you. If you
It
just
felt
said
a lot
17 was
longer.
long, I would
I'm
have
also
sided with
counting
you.
times on the train. Like
We-
the red
we
line
went-
moves so slow, dude.
I think
the
4
3
stops.
Yeah, which was not a short amount of time. We looked it up. It was like an hour to get to
I think that
Phoenix
included.
Landing.
I think if you wanted to walk Boston, it's actually you have to put in the time to walk though. If I wanted to go the same distance in New York and Boston and walk it, I hate to say it, like you have to stop like every block in New York. Boston, you have a straight line a lot of times. You
To be real, you can Frogger in New York a lot easier than you think.
I know, I and like you can, but I'm also not confident enough to.
Well, that's the thing. You got to be
And
confident. You
also,
just got to go.
and also, they do try to hit you in New York. I feel a little bit more.
Yeah, they don't have the signs
I try to
up.
hit people in Boston, but
Eventually, I'm going to.
No, I actually like driving through Medford and Somerville and Cambridge is actually horrifying in my opinion. Because you just look and then you see a bike lane and you're just like,
Well, the bikes are
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
crazy there too, bro. Because you'll be like, every time I turn even right,
you have to. I'm like
I'm, like,
looking.
paranoid
I'm
now,
paranoid
yeah.
that, like
I
I'm
drive way more
paranoid that
cautiously.
there's a cyclist that's right in my blind spot at the exact time I have to turn. So I'm just like, oh no.
because you know the cyclist isn't gonna. Because if I was a cyclist and even if
No, they're not.
even if you don't see a blinker on, I wouldn't be right next to a car going through a fucking intersection where someone can turn right. I just wouldn't. I would wait. I would kind of time it to be in between cars.
there's no way that like we saw it today when we were down Newbury Street, dude. They don't even if you have your blinker on, they don't care. It doesn't seem like they're like. Oh,
Do you think everyone's suicidal, or do they just like so desperate for a fight?
Dude, I think people on bikes generally think that like I'm not in a car, I can turn off my awareness a little bit.
Which is stupid
Which
because
is
you
the
are way
opposite
more
of
in
what you
danger.
should
Yeah,
be
you're way
doing.
more in danger,
And
bro.
like, look what happened to a fucking great city like Amsterdam that's been overrun by a horde of bikes. Those people.
Well, that city's
Those
just
people.
that city's a fucking.
That's what happens when you give the cyclist too much power.
It's
My
like
solution here. This is a controversial take. You need a license for a bike. I think.
I agree.
I think you should have a license.
That's a good. That's a good opinion. I like that. I think that we should police bikes way more.
No, like,
I genuinely think that if a cop is, we should have cops stationed in bike lanes, and when a bike goes by, and they're breaking the law, you like tase them on the way, so they like fucking
like
get
a little.
zapped. No, yeah, you just get zapped.
Have
and-
you guys seen that YouTuber like Remy Galliard? He's like the French prankster in the early 2000s. Have
No.
you seen him? He's like he would do like he pretend to like Mario Kart races, but one thing he would do is like he'd pretend to have like a fisherman, and he'd just like go up to people with a giant fishing net and just like put it over the head. So imagine just like the cops sitting there in the bushes in the bike lane, and then when a car,
It's like Looney Tunes.
yeah, like
dude.
a Looney Tunes, just put him in a.
Yeah, that would be fucking. I just don't think they're policed enough. And I feel like these people are starting to grow a fucking culture and an attitude that's dangerous to make this city become Amsterdam. and you do not
We don't
want
want this city to become
No,
Amsterdam.
Here's the deal, man. Every time people talk about Europe, we haven't shit on Europe, and I don't think in a little bit because we talked about the Ukraine a lot, and granted, most of our things were right, but it was probably distasteful being play by play, week by week Ukraine. So I think we backed away from the European hate a little bit. I'm gonna dive back in. I think we're safe. We waited the 6 months. They're not great, guys. Like, it's not a great spot. Like, every time passes, it just proves itself more. France is going to become Nazis. Like, I'm going to make that prediction now. If we're making a mid-year prediction for the remainder of the year, these people are going to start wearing some kind of suit that's very uniformed and stylish. But they're going to start smashing people's heads in. It's going to happen. They're burning the city down. All over the French people, I will give them credit. They do riots really well. They do really, really, really good riots.
Yeah, but according to the French people, it's only okay when the white French people riot. So now that
No, I know, I'm aware.
No, I know you were, but now that it's non-white French people rioting, this is where the Nazis come in.
But that's what I'm saying.
Are we
like,
pretending that they're not the most racist people in the world?
Oh no, the French people are really pigs. They're really not. That's what it really boils back down to, is that these European countries are not the utopias you think. I promise you, just go to them. They're not nice people. They're terrible people to anybody who's slightly different than them. It's wild. And we're not the only people who said it. Dude, like, Italy is like, if you go and you travel and you're African American, dude, they scorch you. Not like literally, but they are bad. Just openly bad. Granted, Italians in America aren't known to be the most open-minded people. But where do you think that comes from? Neither are the Irish, and I can promise you, dude.
That's another thing about Europe you brought up. Is the Europeans like, oh, why did the Italian Americans act like this? Why did the British...
It's you idiots!
Where do you think they got it from, you fucking pigs?
Yeah, it's you. It's in their DNA.
They're like, and then it's like, oh, why, even like, why? Simply as, oh, why are they proud of their heritage? I'm like, where did that start?
You guys.
The motherfucker who came here.
Yeah, it boils down
to you guys.
Yeah.
There's always a fucking the elephant in the room, or whatever the word is. What's the root cause of something, and it gets boiled down to you, the European.
A lot of stuff, guys. You need to look over there.
Admittedly, their lifestyle.
Amsterdam, their whole fucking thing is being a tourist place, for one, but also where you can smoke weed and bang prostitutes. That's their city's foundation. And these people are over there fighting about... They're going to put their prostitutes in a fucking Skynet prison that you got to go into and get, like, blood scanned to get into this fucking brothel to have sex. And they're like, yeah, we actually think more customers are turned away by tourists just looking at us. And it's like, if
Probably,
you think they're that shameful, they're going to travel to the outskirts of the city and go to this massive dick temple, dude? It's not going to happen.
If I speak.
And they're closing the coffee shops.
I will.
Your weed sucks, dude. Your weed
trouble.
sucks.
Okay, we won't say that. But
What'd you say?
I was gonna just say that hypothetical single Aaron who has shame almost rather cop a cab ride to the outskirts of the city and.
But the building, you had to see it, dude. It's like a goddamn Raytheon
facility. It's like walking
facility.
into the Google fucking
Yeah.
headquarters.
Like your face is being scanned, like everything, dude. They know who you
The
are
only
walking
thing
in, how long you last, how much you paid.
They have something too where it's like the strictest money spending anti-privacy regulation thing. If someone starts spending cash in, like, let's say your pot shop, like a lot of it, you have to like report that or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. That's what
I'm sure
I saw
it's not
on Reddit.
wrong. I'm sure it's not wrong.
I just don't get it over there. I don't get like what people are.
Dude, it's like
But the other thing is they don't get. They don't have militaries either.
And they want us out of NATO. We've
Yeah,
said this before.
I was looking on Reddit. They're trying to get us out of NATO. They're like, They're like, oh, what if instead of NATO, we just kicked America out and had our own European NATO?
Have fun. Sounds good. Dude, sounds
I pray
good.
that happens.
Sounds good,
I
dude.
pray.
Sounds good. We might get free health care if we don't have to pay for your guys' fucking military.
only
only reason the Ukraine is not under Putin isn't fucking stepping on Zelensky's face.
The only reason Putin
in Kiev
isn't fucking
is
on a
because of
rowboat
us.
taking his time across the English fucking channel.
Dude, he might have
Doing a tour. Putin is getting a tour of the fucking North Sea right now, picking out his new oil rigs. As we all know why.
It's a shame that this will be censored on TikTok. This clip will not grow up because I think the world needs to hear it. Take us out of NATO. I'm like so pro. I'm so pro. Be out
Dude,
of
here's
NATO,
the thing
dude.
I
I'm
want to
so
say
fine
about
with it.
Europe, though.
Let Russia. I'm not going to say let Russia have Europe because then people are going to like look back at it and they're going to be like, oh my god. Because here's the deal. How about let's say if you think you can stop Russia,
Give it a go.
I would love
Give
to
it a
see
go.
you try. That would be cool, dude. Do
Circle
it.
back on Europe. Can we all admit they got like just purely in a vacuum because obviously this existence won't last forever. But they've gotten a pretty fun lifestyle down. But
They
it's
have
them that's the issue.
Yeah.
Like I do prefer their way of life in terms of.
It wouldn't work without us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like in a vacuum, like it's fun. Like I do enjoy. Like I respect that. Like Spanish people wake up at 11:30. They go to the office. They go to the little nappy corner. They take a nap.
Can you close that shade?
They smoke a cigarette or two.
Yeah.
They get back to work for 30 minutes. 2-hour lunch. Like when you were in, my parents are in Spain right now, and it was like Monday morning, their time. My mom sent a pic of the beach, and there was literally like 10,000 people at this beach, which alone doesn't sound exactly amazing. So that's besides the point. My little brother was horrified. He looked at it, and he was just like, do these people work? Do these people have jobs?
Can I
It's 11:30 on a Monday, and there was the city they're in has like 13,000 people, I think, and there was at least 10,000 people on the beach.
I am going to say something right now. All right. And here's what it is. We can have that in America
I want it so bad.
if we cut all the rest of these places off the tit. Let Europe do whatever the fuck they want. Save the money here. And then we can all do that. You know why Europe can do that now? Because they get their asses protected by us, right? And then they don't have to spend like going overseas to do stuff. They just have to consume now. And they have all these spoils from all these lands that they built up over centuries that they're blowing on. I don't know what. Definitely not goddamn fucking manners. But dude, they just sit over there and they look down at us as if they were not the worst. Say what you will about everybody has been bad in history. 100% true. No one looks good in history. But I would challenge you to find someone who's been maybe worse than Europe. For longer.
Oh my God.
For longer. Like minimum 400 years, dude.
You made a good point too about like how we could have it here. Because at the end of the day, I can't tell you the last time I went to Europe for like to look at old buildings. Like I wouldn't care if we had the ugliest fucking gentrified walkable cities and cafes, you know? I don't care how old the buildings are. It's simply that I do admit that they have the whole being lazy, smoke and drink and get fucked up thing. But who cares about the old buildings? Just build it here, and I will never go to Europe ever again if we get it here. Like dude, I literally will.
Dude, and
it's useless to me.
And dude, the thing is that we just are in that era of our history where we're like working for it still. So everybody,
yeah, we're gonna earn it.
Everybody in the kingdom's life sucks right now.
When this kingdom's thriving,
it's.
I will be
when
66.
We get to put it in cruise control, dude, and you get to like just kind of like, here's the deal, dude. If our biggest problem becomes internally, like we don't need to worry about everybody else. Like honestly, dude, China's not ever coming here. You think China's gonna invade fucking America? It's never happening. It's never happening. They might have more influence, yada yada yada. That does not matter. Especially in our lifetime, we should be fine.
I just can't wait for
We
that.
might be too old to enjoy the spoils, but I really feel like we're gonna. That's like, especially, dude, if it's not Joe Biden in office.
No, I think Bidenomics, baby, are bringing us to the cruise control.
No. I'm saying, like, if it's not Biden in office and NATO's like wants us out, like, imagine if Trump wins again. Trump was already on the side of like getting out of NATO. So if he just pulls us, I genuinely think we'll get healthcare. I think the money would maybe be able to work because you just bring all the troops home, right? We don't need to deploy into Russia anymore. We don't care about Russia. We don't care about Europe anymore.
The only thing we need is them spending the money. So I think once Africa and like South America starts spending a little more, they start buying a little more of our products. Europe better watch out. If we don't need them,
Europe's getting boring, man. All right,
yeah, I'm
it's
sick
getting.
of it.
I'm getting kind of tired of it.
South America's
Castles.
rules.
Castles are only
South
so.
America.
Castles are only so cool, man. All right, stupid
like,
brick
I'll
buildings
go-
and shit. Yeah, I'm
Dude.
done. You're fucking stroopwafel
Honestly, I'm gonna be
and shit.
the only problem if we leave NATO is maybe it won't be good for the rest of the world. Like I'm telling you,
probably
like that's
not.
the thing. Like, and at the end of the day, we will get dragged back into it. So I think it's too late because like the shipping lanes are gonna be fucked.
I don't think so, man. Because you can still just do our shit. Like no one's.
We
stopping
can do
our
our
Navy.
shit, but
that's the thing.
But we
But
function
they don't want our help anymore.
But I'm not even talking
so
about
just
Europe, but
help
I'm saying-
fucking South America. Help fucking anywhere
But I
else.
think I'm saying like almost it's like the parent that knows it has to like we can't like it will fuck us over by leaving at this point.
You know what's gonna happen at some point though? Is there's gonna be way less of a connection with Europe. Like once America even diversifies even more, and we lose that kind of connection, and like more generations are here, and people kind of like don't care if you're Irish or whatever. Like even now, like, no one really gives a shit. So it's like once that becomes further, and like there's more places that like now are immigrating here, like those cultures are going to be the ones we care about abroad. I feel like.
Is this whole segment going to make us sound like a right-leaning podcast?
Oh, we're not right wing, dude. We're not right wing at all. I said I said free healthcare, please.
Yeah, but that's like, never mind. I won't say it. Like if you look at European, the far right, they ain't coming for the healthcare. They want the healthcare, along with the isolation. So.
Well, Europe.
It's not necessarily left.
Yeah, it's not left at all. That's why America's kind of insane. It's because like even like the far right in Europe.
I was saying nationalizing stuff is not just left.
No,
It's also right.
no, like that's why the right in America is so insane. Because even like the right in Europe is like, we still give you. We're still in the healthcare. Yeah,
I still smoke.
Like trying to give you something.
yeah.
I still
right
smoke,
here
I
is
still
just-
smoke cigarettes every day, dude. Like I need some fucking security.
I need to
blanket.
go to the tobacco shop tomorrow.
Start doing rolls.
Yeah, I'm going to buy them. I'll buy them tomorrow.
Okay.
And we bring them to the burn.
I work from home tomorrow.
Yeah, do you want to go golfing tomorrow?
I work from home tomorrow.
At the range, maybe? Or do you? Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's like 12 minutes away. You're not missing much. We'll get a bucket, hit them for a bit, and then we'll go.
No, I know.
Yeah, we should go, Joe. Nice. Do you have any more topics, Coop?
I unfortunately left my notes app over there, which sucks. But
we need a third mic.
We are not right. I think one thing I will say is we're not right wing, right?
No.
So you can't say that.
Said that so unconfident.
No, we're not.
I was asking for some confirmation. I was like, right? But no, we're
No,
not.
no, we're not.
I just I'm getting sick of this Europe shit, and I
They
hate
didn't
to
even
say
do
it.
anything to us.
We could stop
To be
pointing
honest,
over
if
there.
I didn't go on Reddit, I wouldn't be like this. But just seeing them talk to us like that on Reddit is enough to change my whole geopolitical take on the world.
See, most of my opinions are honestly from going there, and like I don't even really have that big of an online
That
presence.
just confirmed all my opinions was going over there. Actually, not
100%.
even. Honestly, they didn't come till after I went over there, and then I realized like we went to New Mogadishu, which is Ireland, and then we went to Amsterdam. And first of all, when we went to Eastern Europe, that was not great either.
Yeah, Poland. Here's the deal. I had a fun time in Poland.
Poland, I bet's have a little.
Yeah, but they're a little Nazi-ish. They got a
Yeah,
little
they got
Nazi-ish thing going.
they're like, look how great we are, and it's like,
They're very pro Poland. So I'll just say that. So, I mean, architecture wise, it wasn't pretty, and like it wasn't like the most beautiful culture in general. Like I'm Polish and Lithuanian,
Dude, I
I'm gonna be
saw
honest.
on Reddit from this post, and it's making fun of Americans now. Just for the Europeans, we'll make fun of the Americans real quick. And he was like, this guy's name was like Robert, some Polish last name. And he's like, finally made over to Poland. It was a rant in like a Facebook group. It was like, I love my Polish heritage. And he's like, great country, super warm people. I loved it a lot. But one thing I noticed, and it really upset me, was that like the Polish people did not seem to care that I was Polish. And I was like, probably, yeah. Like you're going to go up to a person from Poland and be like, I'm Polish. Well, you're not. Like...
Dude, it's like, yeah, you're like 2 seconds from getting your passport.
Yeah, it was kind of like, you're embarrassing us here, buddy.
The Czech Republic was interesting. I don't really remember the people there that much.
Prague, I heard, is the best nightlife city in Europe.
Which is unfortunate because we didn't get to do that.
So we should go back.
Yeah, but it was very expensive. I remember that. I remember spending as much in Prague as we did, like 1 or 2
Yeah,
days.
but that was when we had like money from our parents and like $8 that we found on the ground. So
that is true, but we still spent like €300.
we spend a lot more than €300 next time.
Yeah.
I still will go back to Europe until we have what I want here, because I have what I want in Europe at the end of the day. I'll put my hand up in a minute. And when the day comes that there's no use for Europe anymore, then I'll be good.
Dude, by the way, did you see the thing? It's to shit on America for a little bit. Did you see the thing in Florida where like DeSantis put like 5 states that they're going to like need more identification than just your driver's license?
Vermont was one of them.
It's Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Hawaii, and then there's like one other state.
Why? Why not Massachusetts?
Because you don't have to like to get a driver's license. You don't have to show like valid whatever.
But why? Like, out of those states. So what's the
Yeah.
point of it? I'm not.
So what
following.
they're doing is like you need to show more like documentation that like you're a citizen basically or something like that.
Oh, so you're saying we don't have a lib policy here in Mass?
I'm sure we do, but like I'm sure Connecticut's is interesting. Just
Yeah,
like
I see. Vermont confused me at first.
Vermont's definitely
Because I was like,
weird.
I saw that thing and I saw Vermont, and I assumed that it was just like an anti like northern thing. So I was like shocked that it wasn't like New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut. I mean, it's Connecticut and New Jersey, but Vermont. When we say Vermont,
3 New England
confused me
states.
because I'm like, there's like 8 people in the entire state. So like, what are they doing?
This is from
3 days ago.
3 days ago, but this is from our local news. We can compare it to Florida's and see what they're saying. Certain driver license from 5 states, including 3 New England states, are no longer valid in Florida under new immigration law. The bill prohibits the issuance of a driver's license to anyone who cannot provide lawful presence in the U.S. and specify.
I get it. I'm following like what
Ooh.
it is doing, but here's a take.
Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Vermont.
I bet Massachusetts has the same exact thing, right?
But there's way.
But there's just too many of us that they like can't afford to
'cause they didn't
lose.
do New York.
They can't
They didn't
afford
do
to
New
lose
York
the
either.
fucking.
Let's see what Fort Myers says.
Is that legal or is that unconstitutional? That has to be.
I don't know, man.
I'm
starting to think that
I'm
the laws
guessing
are fake,
the
man.
whole
The laws are crazy.
unconstitutional shit. Like, I feel like it doesn't even make sense half the time.
No.
Say, so it's unconstitutional. It's like
It doesn't.
the Constitution doesn't actually say shit. I feel.
No, it's very open ended. It's kind of
it's
kind
anything.
of like what the judge feels like on that one.
Did you see Trump called DeSantis? He's like Virgin DeSantimanius. He's like this virgin.
Dude, it is pretty
I just
fun.
see that.
It's pretty. I hate to say it. He's really starting to send it down there, man. And I think he thinks
This
it's
is his
gonna.
last shot.
I think he thinks it's gonna win him it, but I don't think it's gonna. Did you see the ad he put out about like Trump loving LGBTQ? And it was like, this like honestly didn't make Trump look bad at all. It was like basically like it was like, would you let Caitlyn Jenner use whatever bathroom she wanted in Trump Tower? And he's like, yeah.
Dude, Trump could become a socialist tomorrow, and they would still vote for him. So He's not arguing the right point.
Imagine Trump comes out in a fucking Stalin like suit, like just the mustache, just
Change
the
my
mustache.
mind.
I'm actually crazy left.
Nationalize
I am,
everything.
I am actually Bernie. I've been Bernie Sanders the whole time. What are you talking
The
about?
problem with DeSantis is that, like, I think the election 2020 combined with the midterms, where they're called, prove that, like, people. I'm not saying Trump doesn't have a chance, but like the loony bin side of the spectrum is on either side is not what people want.
Yeah.
So I feel like DeSantis is trying to basically come across as even more of a loony, and he's basically just gonna like. I feel like that fraction of Trump is like almost gone at this point. I think Trump's gonna get washed in the next election if he's running.
I don't think so,
This is
man.
my
I really
take.
don't.
So I think DeSantis is probably more popular with like Republicans
Dude,
in
DeSantis. Did you
Well,
see what
wait,
he's
no,
polling?
Republicans in Massachusetts.
No, well, yeah, because they don't really.
But
I don't
that's
think
what
they
I
look
mean.
into
But
the
but
Florida
those
shit.
Republicans aren't going to win. So we're talking about if we're looking states that are going to win, which Republican they're going to go for. Because if you're like, oh, I'm just like I want not a loony bin for my Republican candidate. And you're in California, you're in New York, you're in fucking Massachusetts. It doesn't really matter what you want at the end of the day, because your state's going to go blue, right?
No, 100%. Yeah, but it.
You got to go for the Hicks, and who do the Hicks want?
I really think.
I think it's Trump.
I think they really still like. I like the people who say that Trump. Like, I don't believe that, dude. I feel like even like all the shit with like the.
I don't think he's not.
He's gonna be
get
in
a
a
lot of
he's gonna
votes.
be in a prison cell, dude. And I think
He's gonna get a ton of votes, but what won Trump were a lot of the people who still were fairly moderate, and I think those.
I
people
bet you there's
aren't-
more people who.
talking about Biden though. He's facing Biden.
In Biden, the fucking country's
Can I-
thriving right now.
Can I say one?
I don't think people like him at all.
Can I say?
I think that's overblown.
you know how.
I think most people are happy with Biden.
I'm Trump's political advisor, right?
Yeah.
He's in the debates with Biden. It's
Just speak.
It's 2023. I tell Trump to walk across the stage and give him a high five and see if he can if he can make it happen, dude. Because I bet you that would panic him a bit. That's how I beat him. But yeah, no, I think he's gonna, dude. I
will bet.
I really don't think people like DeSantis, man. I really
DeSantis,
don't.
no, people don't like DeSantis. Enough people are hooked onto the like.
But who are they
Trump
gonna?
train.
But who is gonna run? I'm not
I think
saying
Trump's gonna win the.
Okay, but that's what we were saying.
I said he's
wasn't
gonna
saying
get
he's
his
gonna be
ass kicked
president.
against Biden, so I clearly was talking about that.
I don't
He's-
know if
yeah,
it's an
I
ass
think-
kicked. I think it's gonna be pretty similar to last time.
I think he's gonna win more comfortably than last time, Biden.
I can see that, but not by like a crazy amount.
I mean, it's not going to be like that. Whatever.
he
election.
wins like one or two
yeah,
more
like
states.
he's gonna win
yeah.
like the usual suspects.
I don't know, man.
He's probably gonna win Texas still. Even that, like they're not like
2
he's gonna
years
win
is a lo-
Florida.
2 years is a
God,
It takes a couple more Biden clips. I don't know.
dude,
He
I
just
think
keeps
the
he
Biden
keeps
shit.
falling,
I
man.
think the Biden shit is so like overblown because in our world, the internet, like most people look in our country's fine, and it's like, all right, Biden's doing a pretty good job.
But I bet you he's because I bet you he's really not doing anything, dude.
Who cares? Like it's working.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it against it. I'm just saying, like, I think that some people he keeps if he
The only
if
thing
he keeps
is,
falling,
2 years
dude. I
is
think
enough
it's gonna be
time
bad.
for like a recession to happen.
Aren't we in a recession? What the fuck is happening?
We kind of beat it, to be honest. Well, so far. So I mean, Europe's gonna get destroyed by it. Sorry, Europe again. Not to shit on you guys, but like,
I mean a Europe trip when their economy's tanked and we have money.
could yeah, if they're not all Nazis over there, they might all be Nazis.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go to Europe if they become.
Europe
Nazis.
has a little bit of struggle, on their Nazis. Hey, I heard the Weimar Republic was not that bad though.
But they weren't Nazis. The
But,
I mean, that's the
Republic was,
equivalent.
The Weimar
We're the-
Republic was like wildly liberal.
But that's why it was fun to go to before they all became full blown Nazis. The Nazis were still there in the Weimar Republic,
Yeah, but like the Nazis are here now.
but not enough. Not seriously enough. I don't think so. Not enough.
Believe it or not.
I was like, what do you mean by that? No, yeah, I had a meeting at work and they're talking about the recession and we've beat it pretty much. So
So the argument is like we've had so many recessions.
I hate
that
to say-
know how to beat it at this point.
I was gonna.
But also, we own everything. I feel like we're still super rich. That we can afford to just pump that money out to make it work. I don't know. Maybe we won't, and we're going to eat our words like we did about Putin not going after the Ukraine. But
We did say that, and the best part was the night of, and then someone was either Jaden or Ernst, and whoever burst into the room was like, dude, Putin just invaded the fucking Ukraine. We were like, oh my God. We talked for like 45 minutes that episode about the Ukraine. Good thing you're not on mic. Anyway.
We need a third. We need a third mic.
We do.
Like,
We do.
we'll get one this weekend, guys. Because I think. No, we can talk about it after the pod.
No, we definitely need a third mic. I agree.
so we get those
Do
sponsored
you
by
have
Amazon Prime.
Do you have Fuck, does Kira have Prime?
Get it through.
Fuck.
Just buy it through Brooklyn. Did I say the name?
Yeah, we've said Brooklyn's name plenty of times.
She's
Anyway.
got a student, right? And that's like extra Prime. That's like super Prime.
That is true. I might ask.
Because I don't have Prime.
Or we can just go to fucking Best Buy.
But Prime.
We love Bezos. On
Oh,
this
one
pod.
thing I did say, maybe this could be a hack. I don't know if you could do it, but like, don't all these stores do price match? I said to Joe earlier, why don't you just take the Prime Day deal to the store and be like, I can buy this right now for $16.
That's crazy. Come in tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be there
We
tomorrow.
actually, like, they scooped them all in the thing. We actually have no mics left.
You can try tomorrow.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna send this to Prokop. Like, he's still gonna do it, but if he doesn't do it, I get it because he's got his fucking dad stuff. We miss Prokop dearly. We will do a Discord, or we will go down and see him soon. The cocktail hour, we're gonna try on a different computer because my 2014 MacBook, I'm sure, is struggling recording this podcast on Audacity. So we'll try another computer, and then we'll get that going. Golf video, maybe. I should just record some fucking content tomorrow.
Maybe. Do you want to do
Someone
the
else's
course,
face
or do
on
you
the
want to do?
fucking- I need someone else's face in the TikTok, so it
Alright.
doesn't just look like it's my deal.
Okay. Promise. End scene.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week, probably.